Do you think we really have choice? Or is the future already set? 1950, Aomori, Japan. Yoshi Shiratori didn't choose to be born poor, but he did what he had to do in order to survive. Somewhere along the way, he got involved with the wrong crowd. But deep down, he knew he wasn't a criminal. So he got out. He escaped and found a beautiful wife, had a perfect baby girl. You could say he made a quiet little life for himself. But turns out that nobody, not even Yoshi Shiratori, can escape their past. Maybe even in that moment, Yoshi knew that was the last time he'd be with his family for a very, very long time. Bruh, how you gonna do him like that? The guy just started a family. Plus, he was innocent. He never killed no one. His friend did though. Talk about being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Yoshi Shiratori was sentenced to prison for a crime he didn't commit. Just like that, he was ripped out of heaven and tossed into the deepest, ugliest part of hell. Except this version of hell was cold.
You must be the guy. Shot a cop down in cold blood. You cold, fam.
I didn't do it.
Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But word is that you might get the...
Where'd you hear that?
People talk, fam.
Help! Guard!
Shut up, nobody's coming. You killed my best friend, so now I'm gonna hurt you, and I'm gonna enjoy it.
His name was Kai, and he proceeded to beat the shit out of Yoshi. And he was right. Nobody, not the other guards, not Bungie, not a single person came to help. If Kai didn't have to switch shifts, he probably would have never stopped. Yoshi knew that he needed to escape, but he was in such agonizing pain, he couldn't move.
You okay?
So the only thing he could do was just lay there on the ground and start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. First of all, chill, bro. I know you think he killed your partner, but still, get your facts straight. Also, my guy Bungie, how you just gonna let your cellmate take a beating like that? And last but not least, why the was my guy Yoshi counting? Over the next few months, the abuse continued. This was hell, and Kai was the devil. But secretly all this time, Yoshi had been plotting his escape. We had a deal.
What are you gonna do with that junk anyways?
I'm gonna escape.
Good one.
So you're telling me this guy's about to break out of there with that? Good luck. That night, Kai came to beat the shit out of Yoshi, like usual, and Bungie pretended to sleep, like usual. But this wasn't like every other night.
What are you doing?
Escaping.
Are you crazy, fam? They'll be back any minute.
15 minutes, to be exact.
What?
Yoshi had been studying the guards' patterns for months. Every time Kai left, Yoshi would count 887, 888, 889. 900 seconds. A new guard won't arrive for at least 15 minutes. 554, 553, 552. What Yoshi never saw coming is that there are 2 more locked doors in his way. While still keeping count, Yoshi hurries to pick the lock. And yes, he gets through to the second door. 234, 233, 232. He works on the last door, but Bungie isn't exactly keeping calm.
Come on, man! Get back in here! You're gonna get us both in trouble!
Shut up! 115, 114, 113. He hears footsteps from down the hall. He's almost out of time. Almost. Yes! He breaks through to the last door and shuts it right behind him, and... oh, no. There's a giant fenced perimeter all around the prison. Yoshi needed more time to get out of the danger zone. A lot more time. But at any moment, the new guard would find out he escaped and sound the alarm. Unless... Yoshi put wooden floorboards under the blanket? My guy's a genius! Never doubted him for a second. So, he can go see his family again now, right? Not exactly. By the time the guards finally caught on, it was too late. Yoshi was long gone. But he was far from free. He was a wanted man, and Kai would personally never stop hunting him. Plus, there was one little problem. His wife and daughter have to wait. Yoshi needs medical supplies now, or it's about to get ugly. Thing is, he can't exactly just walk into a hospital. Can he? Just like that, Yoshi was caught again. Months of planning for a mere 3 days of freedom. This time, he was sent further north to Akita prison. He had already escaped once, so Kai was determined to make an example out of him. Even though it was much colder, there was no heating. Yoshi was handcuffed and forced to sleep on the concrete floor. On top of that, he was placed into solitary confinement inside a special tower room designed with smooth walls. As if physical torture wasn't enough, the room had no sunlight except for a small barred skylight from above, shrouded in cold darkness. This special place in hell was designed to break both the human body and spirit. This time, surely, there was no escape. It's okay. I'm not here to hurt you. Who are you? My name is Kobayashi. I'm the chief guard. What do you want? Nothing. This place is cruel. I feel bad for you. That's all. Kai? Again? Man really knows how to hold a grudge. And what's with this death tower? No getting out of this one. My guy Yoshi is done for. At least he's made a friend. Over the next 6 months, Yoshi would continue to be visited by Kai, his tormentor, and Kobayashi, his friend. This time, Kai made sure there was no 15-minute window in between guard shifts, and that all of the other security measures were strictly enforced. Kai saw to it that Yoshi could never escape. What? Impossible. Kai had underestimated Yoshi once again. You see, Yoshi kept a little souvenir from his last adventure. But that wasn't enough. There was still a bigger obstacle. The only way out was up. Turns out that lockpicking wasn't Yoshi's only hidden talent. He was also an expert rock climber. He could wedge his weight into the slight dents of the wall and climb all the way up. But obviously, Yoshi couldn't bend the metal bars, no matter how hard he tried. So he had to find a weakness, and there it was. The window frame was the only point where the sun could get in. Plus, it was made of wood. In other words, it was rotting. So, every night for the past 6 months, Yoshi freed himself from his handcuffs, climbed the walls, and loosened the frame. Then, he climbed back down and put his handcuffs back on, and waited for a night where nobody could hear him escape. This guy climbs walls too? They just can't hold him down. Can't believe I ever doubted him. So what now? He finally reunites with his family, right? Not just yet. Yoshi was still a wanted man. He knew that if not today or tomorrow, eventually he would be caught again. So this time, he turned himself in. I need your help. Come in. So, how can I help you? I want to turn myself in. What? I've escaped from 2 maximum security prisons now. You might think I hate prison. I don't. But the Japanese justice system is broken. I will file for a civil lawsuit. At my sentencing, I'll make my case for how I was abused by the guards. But as a fugitive, I lack credibility. So I'll need a witness. You want me to be your witness? You saw the guards' corruption every day. If you vouch for me, together we can campaign for change. And you're my only friend. Okay, I'll help you. Go wash up. I'll prepare some dinner. Being the only one who showed kindness, Yoshi trusted Kobayashi with his life. But that turned out to be his biggest mistake.
Hello?
Hello? I would like to report a crime. Yoshi Shiratori trusted Kobayashi with his life. He shared his plan to reform the corrupt Japanese prison system, earn his freedom, and finally be reunited with his wife and daughter. And Kobayashi betrayed him. I'm sorry. In that moment, Yoshi vowed that he would never trust anyone ever again.
Yoshi? I said, you've escaped from 2 Japanese prisons. What do you have to say for yourself?
I humbly accept my punishment. I only have one request.
Let's hear it.
I'd like to be transferred to a Tokyo prison.
Why is that?
The weather is warmer.
Denied.
Ooh, that's cold. Ice cold. His only friend betrays him and they couldn't even grant my guy some warm weather? This was personal. Not only was Yoshi denied warm weather, his life sentence was increased and he was transferred to Abashiri prison. The coldest maximum security prison in Japan with the most vile reputation. Nobody has ever escaped.
You thought you could escape me? Huh?
crazy?
I'm done trying to prove I'm innocent. Mark my words. I will break out of here. You can only push a man so far before he snaps, and Yoshi had reached his limit. They say he was so angry, he broke his handcuffs right then and there to make his point. No prison can hold him. But Yoshi was just human. Sometimes you gotta separate the man from the myth. Plus, these weren't just any ordinary handcuffs. Considering how Yoshi had already escaped twice, the guards learned from their mistakes and put together an escape profile. Since Yoshi could pick locks, they handcuffed both his arms and feet with special handcuffs that had no locks. These handcuffs could only be removed by a specialist once a week so that Yoshi could bathe. Other than that, he had to squirm around like a worm. The guards also knew that Yoshi escaped from a window before, so as an extra precaution, just in case Yoshi somehow managed to break his unbreakable handcuffs, the windows were designed to be smaller than his body. Oh no, this guy got the whole Magneto treatment. Well, we had a good run. Better luck next time. Not so fast. Last thing we'd want to do is count Yoshi Shiratori out. It's a stormy night in August. It's been 6 months since Yoshi was locked up at Abashiri prison. The guards are more than confident Yoshi can't escape, so they stopped watching his cell 24/7. Not to mention, it was so cold that nobody wanted to do it. Kai's the only one who still makes it a point to visit occasionally, just to make sure. Kai sounds the alarm right away. It's too late. Yoshi's already gone. Okay, you lost me. Unbreakable handcuffs? Tiny windows? Unless my guy could turn invisible, I don't see how he could have escaped. Yoshi knew his old methods wouldn't work this time. But more importantly, he couldn't exactly come up with a new approach if he froze to death. Or starved. Yoshi painfully squirms towards the miso soup until he gets close enough. Then he awkwardly picks it up with his handcuffed hands, right when he finally gets a hold of it. Ow! You gotta be kidding! It's completely frozen. At this point, most people would probably give up. But not Yoshi Shiratori. He knows that no matter how impossible something might seem, he's just gotta break it down into small, easy steps, starting with whatever's right in front of him. That's it! Suddenly, Yoshi knows exactly how he's going to escape. Kai was tired of playing cat and mouse. He saw to it that Yoshi was only fed miso soup. A cruel but clever move on his part. One, it's low in nutrients. Kai knew that Yoshi would become weaker and weaker, probably too weak to make it through the winter. And two, it was so cold, the soup would freeze in under 2 minutes. Another way to torture Yoshi until the very end. But what Kai didn't realize was that he had given Yoshi exactly what he needed to escape. Every day, Yoshi would take some of his miso soup and douse his handcuffs, as well as the metal bars on the window. After the first 2 months, the window began to rust, and a screw came loose. Each month after that, the handcuffs and metal bars became weaker and weaker. Yoshi had originally planned to wait until the spring to escape, but by the 6-month point, he was so weak from malnutrition that if he stayed any longer, he wouldn't have been able to leave at all. As weak as he is, Yoshi breaks through his handcuffs with ease because of the rust. Then, with the help of the first screw, he removes the metal bars from the window. But there was still one more obstacle. The hole in the door is too small for Yoshi's body to fit through. Unless... Besides miso soup, Kai had given Yoshi the one other thing he needed to escape. Because of the malnutrition, Yoshi's body had become incredibly malleable. So much so, he can dislocate his joints at will, making his body small enough to fit through the window. Okay, bruh, don't play with me. That's it, right? He gets back to his family? Don't tell me he's gotta go through even more BS. Almost. But there's just one more obstacle standing in between Yoshi and his family. Chief, I've got something. Read.
The sun sets for me. I know that home no longer exists. I can't escape. So in order to right my wrongs, I must end it once and for all. Goodbye to you and our baby Rico.
I win.
Yoshi knew that for as long as he was a wanted man, he could never go home. But there was still a way. Yoshi predicted that soon the US would win the war, the Japanese prison system would be scrambled, and his criminal case would fade into the background. Yoshi be delivering messages in code? My guy is wicked smart. Hold up, if he couldn't go home, where'd he go? Yoshi wandered north of Abashiri prison into the mountains. The climate was unforgiving. If he didn't find shelter quickly, hypothermia would have its way. But even for someone like Yoshi Shiratori, from time to time, he needs luck. Salvation. Yoshi made the abandoned mine his home. During the day, he studied the local bears and learned how to fish. He passed time by practicing meditation, visualizing the day that he would finally be able to see his family again. And day in and day out, Yoshi stayed in isolation. But after 2 years, he had enough. He was losing his mind and needed some human contact. So he took a leap of faith and hiked over to a nearby town. But when he arrived, he couldn't believe what he saw. American soldiers were walking down the street with young Japanese girls. Signs on the walls were all written in English. Yoshi runs over to a nearby newspaper stand and... Wow, what a feeling. He was sad for his country, but the day has finally come. Yoshi can finally go back to his family. Without a second thought, Yoshi starts running. He heads south. It's been almost 10 years since he was first separated from his family. So many thoughts rush through his mind. Did his wife remarry? How big is his daughter? Will she recognize him? Yoshi runs and runs and runs and runs. But after 50 days, he needed a break. Yoshi wanders through a field of crops. He's exhausted. Then, he needs to eat something or he'll collapse. There, up ahead, a tomato tree. Don't have to ask him twice. That might just be the best tomato he's ever had. He can literally feel the energy returning to his body. Just what he needed to tie him over for the journey. Hey! What? It's a farmer. He's charging right at Yoshi with a rake.
Thief!
Wait, sorry, I didn't. This guy does not come in peace. Stop, please, I don't want to hurt you.
Shut up, thief!
No, don't tell me it's what I think it is. Are you for real? My guy waits out a war, pulls a Forrest Gump across the country, and he gets locked up for this? I'm done. It didn't take long for Kai to learn that Yoshi wasn't dead after all. So this time, he took no chances. Yoshi was under 24/7 surveillance by 6 armed guards. His cell was built to withstand rust. And just in case Yoshi found a way, the windows were smaller than the size of his head. Kai was so confident that he didn't even bother handcuffing him. Even for Yoshi Shiratori, there was no escape. Yoshi spent his days looking up, but by now, he was older and in no shape to climb like he used to. Still, the guards took no chances. They watched him vigilantly. After a few months, Yoshi fell into a deep depression. He slept all day and refused to eat.
What do you mean he won't eat?
I don't know. He just sleeps.
Get up! I said get up! Ow!
Kai knew that all of Yoshi's previous escapes were upwards, so Yoshi reinforced his bias by spending his days looking up. Since the guards knew that it was impossible to escape through the ceiling or windows, they became arrogant. Meanwhile, every night, Yoshi was busy digging. Turns out, this was Yoshi's easiest escape by far. Don't mess with me. I know he isn't gonna get back to his family. So what's it gonna be this time? He accidentally kidnapped someone's cat? Not exactly. By this point, Yoshi was already an old man. He began to accept that he may never be with his family again. Cigarette? I'm Aki. All Yoshi had known for so long was pain and betrayal. And here, a simple act of kindness from a stranger. Yoshi's reality was shattered. Are you okay, sir? Yes, my name is Yoshi. Yoshi Shiratori. Yoshi turned himself in, but this time, it was different. Things began turning in his favor. The newly reformed Japanese justice system found him not guilty of the farmer's death, so his life sentence was reduced to 20 years. Kai was taken off his case and he was transferred to a Tokyo prison. He had become something of a national legend, so the guards all respected him and treated him fairly. Yoshi finally had accepted his fate, instead of trying to escape it. And with that, he found peace. Rico?
Who are you?
I'm your father.